said that their cat was missing, then turned around and apologized, saying that the information wasn't true. They were just guessing. They didn't know it was going viral. Um, but I feel that in politics, they're going to do whatever they have to do to win. Um, Even recently, I know J.D. Vance went out to say that the rumors were false. But that has affected the city immensely because Haitians who have just been minding their business, going to work and coming home, are now terrified to walk on the streets, to gather together. There's a woman who came with her small son, who's probably around 4 years old. She just wanted a one-way ticket to Brazil because she's terrified of someone killing her son. Because she says in the area that she lives in, her walking home, her transit to home, she gets people yelling at her, screaming at her, and she knows it's hateful, but she doesn't understand what they're saying. And she says when her little son waved at somebody and they started screaming at her, and she just knew, like, I'm not safe here. I gotta go as soon as possible if I want to save my child's life. So it's as much as it became a meme. So other people, I've talked to people outside of the town, and they think the cat memes are funny, and I tell them, like, this has not only put Haitian lives in danger, but also the locals of Springfield, because now they're getting bomb. I don't understand how that would be productive, but they're getting bomb threats to schools and to the DMV and to these other, like, public places. People are constantly threatening to bomb people who have nothing to do with anything. I don't know what American children have to do with politics or immigrants. It has nothing to do with this, but their lives are being threatened now that Springfield has quote unquote gone viral, you know? So it's been tough on Springfield people and Haitian people, just everyone here in general.
Yeah. I mean, it does sound disturbing. Do you get do you get any sense of, you told that story about somebody being shouted at. Are these people coming in? Are they local residents who, have had these sort of like feelings and now feel like now they can shout at people or express their feelings towards the community where they followed up before? Do you have any sense of like who's actually doing this kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I think it's interesting because over the years, it's kind of been a hush-hush question and complaint amongst your friends, you know? Who are these people? Why are they here? I can't understand them. What are they here for? Who's paying them? And then you start seeing people saying, how does he have food stamps and nice shoes? Different things like that. So different things like that. It was all these questions of, because mind you, if this were to happen in New York, it's not a big deal because everybody's different. But in Springfield, if you're a foreigner, you stand out like a sore thumb. And so everyone's kind of upset because it literally is just a small group of people. Everyone knows everyone, so we don't know these people. What are their intentions? And I know how not unknown, the unknown turns into fear, and sometimes fear can then turn into anger or hate or one way or another. You know how fear can be very dangerous. And so because they just don't understand them, all of a sudden they're dangerous. And then once it goes viral, now it's like, no one has ever looked at us before like this. And now the whole world is, or the nation is watching us. And now I have the power to say in a political term, like, this is dangerous, and people are making stuff up. People are mad and screaming, oh, why are these vans, these big white vans are dropping off these Haitians? Every day they're dropping off these Haitians, and in reality, it's Haitian people that are getting transportation back and forth to work. So it would be the same Haitians that don't have, transportation, and someone bought a van so that they can bring people back and forth to work. It's a lot of miscommunication, but it definitely gave a political light. So if you felt a certain way politically, now you're like emphasized of like, yes, like get rid of these people. I didn't like them in the first place. Everything they did was weird, and so now it just is really heightened.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess, so these people may have been like emboldened to do this. Maybe they had some sort of grievance, and now they feel I don't know. You said earlier, I think off tape, I'd like to talk to both sides, and I'm just wondering, I guess what you might call the white community, whether some of them might justifiably feel like, oh, house prices went up, or, the hospital's crowded or whatnot, and that sort of turn. What do you sort of feel about that kind of side of things?
Yeah, for sure. So, um, house prices honestly is going up everywhere. So it's not just like inflation has hit everyone since COVID, and I don't think they notice that. Sometimes when things happen and you don't understand, you need somebody to come prepared. So as far as housing going up, I personally believe that's just a nationwide inflation situation. As far as the hospitals filling up, that's I guess what happens with more people. So, but going to the hospital, I've never not been able to be treated because there were more people. You know, it's all based on what's on a dire emergency, things like that. They still work and operate in the same way. So I know that there is some growing pains that go with, and I will definitely agree with the locals. And they're just like, it's so much. It's a lot for them to handle. But I know that over time, that it can definitely be managed. And now that we have nationwide attention, we can receive resources for help to help grow this city, in a more positive light.
Yeah, I guess that was my sort of last question, which was like, all this crazy misinformation flying around, you're having to deal with it. What does the city need now to kind of like move past all this crazy political stuff?
Um, it's hard to say because in politics, it's just going to continue until politics are over, and maybe there'll still be some stuff, running on, and you want to say everyone to be happy and go lucky and unity. Like unity is what as a mixed person, is what I always look towards. It's just like I have white family and I have Haitian family, and I want everyone in my family, like they do get along just fine. Like there's no problem, and so I want to see that in my community where it's just like, but at the same time, you can't always change the heart of how someone truly feels, and that's why I just feel that my job is to be informative and to help because now it's partially a good thing. Right now, Haitians are terrified and locals are angry. But now that we have national attention, we can seek federal help, and this can do big things for the town, and this could be beneficial for the locals in ways that they didn't seem to be. So now that there's misinformation, and there are going to be folks who try to put out the truth, and people are going to believe what they're going to believe. That's just inevitable. You know that.
And when you were chatting before, you said you're trying to sort of explain to people online, maybe not argue with them, but just sort of say these are the facts. Is that a big part of it?
Yeah, so there's, I know in the political sense, there's a lot of illegal. That's a big word they use. And I think it really criminalizes people because it just seems like when you don't belong here, I've heard someone say, my problem isn't with migrants and people coming here illegal. And I personally tell them, okay, well, I've crossed thousands of Haitians within the past 2 years, and I've seen everyone's documents. Nobody here is illegal. Like, I haven't crossed one person. My mom's been here longer. Not one person didn't have legal documents with an alien number and a court date and things like that, and proof of where they entered, with their name and date of birth. Their information is there. They have been processed through the government, So, like, things like that. It's just like I like to let people know that this information isn't fully correct, and I get that people kind of want to get rid of what they don't understand, but they miss the opportunity of growth when you don't want change. Change can hurt, but change can be such a beautiful thing. It's like working out, It hurts at first. It really feels great once you get used to it and you realize these people really aren't that bad at all. They're great people. someone would come out to that church and they would be from Springfield and they told us about Springfield and they just thought it would be a good idea to come
And
check it out. And we up and moved,
wow,
and the rest is
it must have
history.
been quite a
The
shock.
rest is
It must have
history.
been quite a shock coming from like New York to
Yeah,
come
for
here.
sure, for sure.
Wow.
Definitely a difference.
And so, where should I go to talk to community members? What would you suggest would be a good place to
Community
talk to people? I know
members.
you're sort of here.
As so Haitian community members, there are churches that like people gather around for church.
Yeah.
um, I'm because
Will they
not
be very
everybody.
busy during the week though? Is just why I'm wondering.
Yes. So Sunday is usually their only day
Yeah.
off. They usually yeah, they usually only have one day off.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think to speak to I think the best way to reach them is finding a Haitian church on Sunday.
Yeah.
And maybe afterwards, pay your respects, and after the service, hey, you have some time to talk. Or do you know someone who can speak English and can give us your perspective? And lead us that way. Yeah, there's a few out here that have learned English and stuff because I'd be happy to speak. They know that it's just like it's frustrating. It's frustrating when someone is spreading a lie about you
Yeah.
and you're just like, no, it's not true. But who hears you? It's a frustrating. So I'm sure they'd be willing to say something. Yeah, that's my best advice is to find a church after a service.
Right, you can come to
a little office. That we have. We get people in there all the time, but a lot of people that come
They
here.
don't really
That's the other
They
thing.
don't really
Can I mention the name of your organization?
yeah, it's
It's just called Haitian Interpreting Services LLC.
Haitian Interpreting Services.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're from Springfield or?
Great. Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
of course.
no. I mean, my mom
dropped me off here, so now I'm without a vehicle. So it's whenever she picks me back up.
Yeah, no,
I understand Springfield's frustration simply because they don't know, and also I think there also is a bit of jealousy there because they see Haitian. First of all, it's Haitian culture to dress your best all the time before you step outside. Like my grandmother's sister, who's still alive, she lives in Brooklyn and she will not take out the trash without her wig and a nice shirt. Like she will not. Like she has to, and that's just in the culture. And even they're traveling up here to the United States, even if they have one outfit, they will make sure they wash that outfit and then press that outfit and make sure it looks nice. I even had my Haitian uncle, well, it's my mom's uncle. He was a janitor and she never knew because he wore a suit every time he left the house. This is their culture.
Yeah.
You dress yourself, you represent yourself in the best light. And here it's just like, you'll find people. I mean, Springfield has been known to be a more poorer area. There are wealthier areas where like doctors and stuff live, but there's a lot of poor. So it's just like, how come they have?
That's what I was
this?
saying.
That's what I was saying with the groceries because you have nice shoes. Only be like that's his only shoes, and he takes great care of it. He takes pride in what he has on and his appearance. But that makes me the outfit he has.
It's cases like that.
It's cases like that, and then there's also a lot of, well, how did they buy that car? And it's just like, oh, the government gave them that car, and it's like, no, some of these Haitians have saved up $30,000 because they will work. They'll send money back home to Haiti. They'll send money back home to Haiti, but they'll be fine with
Yeah.
very cheap meal, very cheap meal because that's how they had to live, just work and just working over
Compounding.
just compounding whatever they're saving. And that's just what's happening. They're being able to build, and it's just like, well, how come this now? How come this now? Party. They don't go out and party. They don't have alcohol, cigarette, any kind of addictions. They don't have those. So they're just working and saving. And then it's just like,
They just showed up.
they just showed up, and now they got all this and that. And like, who's giving them that? And it's just, they work you don't realize they work for that. And they
Yeah.
saved
For
every
what
penny
they've got, it's
for what they've got. It's just a different
and I've heard them say,
things. And I've heard them say, well, they don't have our morals. And I don't think they understand
a
the
lot of people
Haitian moral
bring up
code. A lot of
voodoo,
people will bring
but
up
most
voodoo,
are Christian.
but most people are Christian or Catholic.
There's
Yeah,
no
like if you go to, there's no
Yeah.
voodoo ritual church here for
Yeah.
Haitians. It's Christian or
pride.
Catholic, and they take pride in that as well.
We
Like
pray.
we even like pray with them when we help them with an application, like hope that it all goes through, and they love it. They're very
I am
like I am Christian, like
Yeah.
that's
I guess that's probably what
I think
made
that
some people believe this cat.
because they thought it was
because they thought it was they thought it was a voodoo
but a lot-
situation. But a lot
I'm
of Haitians here, I'm sure voodooism is probably still active in certain areas
But
of
I've
Haiti. But I've even written stories about people leaving because of
they're
that, because they're Christian and maybe they were discriminated in their neighborhood and they decided to leave because of that. But there's
I mean,
a
you gotta go.
Christian. I mean, you gotta go. Actually, if you want to go look to speak to a Haitian, you should probably sit for a little part of
sit in a little part of
sit in a little part of
Christian churches.
their Christian churches, and they are
Yeah.
passionate. Their parents just like in on them, like you act like you have no parents, like what's wrong with you, like just for a tattoo. So it's just like when they say like they don't have morals or they're all about like
Yeah, it's like, what do
voodooism
they
and sacrifice,
mean?
it's like it seems very because that's the stigma, right? So you know that like there's a I don't know the same way they said like Asian people eat cat. It's just like there's just this
Fear of
stereotype.
the other.
Yeah, there's this stereotype that all Haitians are voodooists, but that's not the case at all. It's not the case. There's a lot like I've written a lot of things where they ask the religion. They'll say, "Oh, Protestant," or you know, Catholic or Baptist. Like I write that a lot. So
Yeah.
there's just a lot of miscommunication. And so the thing is just like we want the Springfield people to want to understand because there are people. I can't say that everyone doesn't want them here and everybody. And I know that we say like white people, but there's also black people as well. There was a man who right in front of our store. I guess there was a little fender bender. We checked out his car. It didn't seem like anything was wrong with it, but it was a black man. He was like, he came in the store just cussing everybody out. He's like, I'm a police officer. I'm off today, but I work tomorrow. I remember his car. I'm gonna have him deported. And he just kept yelling that he's gonna have him deported, have him deported. And it's just like because of a little fender bender. I didn't see a scratch on his car, but he was just so angry.
Yeah.
And it was just like, this is with, you know. But then you'll see people who say, hey, they're people. This is humanity. Or there'll be people who say, I worked with a Haitian and he spoke some English and he's a really nice guy. Like I heard his story and I feel bad and I think we should give him a chance. There's people who are out there too in Springfield that are like, wait a minute, like they're nice people. The people that I've encountered were great people, or honest working, hard working. You know what I'm saying? Like they stayed out of trouble. And then there's just people like, well, this is mine. You know, like you see it in like little kids, like this is mine. Who are you? You can't take this. This is mine. It's like nothing belongs to you. You came here with nothing. You're gonna leave this earth with nothing. You know. So
some of the, because like I'm sure some of the community, like you say, thinks, hey, it's great. You know, this place is a lot more alive than it was 5 years
definitely
ago.
more lively for
People
sure.
are moving here. Let's go.
Exactly. People, and I feel the same exact way because living in Florida and then coming back all the time, it was just sad to see. I was just like, where's everybody? That was the thing. It's like if you wanted to make it in life, make it out of Springfield, right? And now all of a sudden it's like no, no, Springfield was perfect with that, and it's just like to me, I see how Springfield or Haitians have brought Springfield back to life.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. You got it's. I mean, I've only been here for a morning, but you know, it's you know, there's signs of life here. You know,
We have
this
this
radio station.
exactly.
not exactly,
The very first time I went to
as sort of,
hotel,
terrible
it
as
was
people.
30 minutes from
As people make
Yeah,
it,
make
but
it
that's how the media works, and that's the thing is that I think even JD Vance mentioned that it's like we're gonna do whatever we have to do to win this, and I think there's another assassination attempt that came up, and I'm usually not. I stay in the middle. I'd say I'm independent. I'm not neither left nor right. I just like to sit back and watch in a way, like
Yeah.
because there's things that I agree and disagree on both sides. So I just stay back, just stay observant, because it helps me from like getting super passionate and angry about one side over the other. And I just sit back and watch, but I see how it was just suspicious to me how it's like, okay, now it came out that you were lying, and now they're trying to kill me. So it's like, to me, it just seemed like, is this just to distract from the fact that you just started this whole lie that put a whole town in danger? Like, you came out and said it wasn't true.
Yeah.
But now the town, both the Haitians and the locals, are in danger because now we're a target of being. That's what happens with being viral,
And I guess like Trump says that he's going to come here at some point.
On
maybe.
Thursday. Tomorrow is what I heard. Well, no, it's not tomorrow. Thursday. Tomorrow
It's
is
going to be
Tuesday.
Thursday.
I heard it was Thursday.
Wow.
And so that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
We did have Barack Obama come here, which was cool. So at first I'm like, we don't get attention at all. But Barack Obama did come to Springfield, came to our high school one time when he was running.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I guess like.
But this is interesting, and I'm not sure what he has to say. And one of my arguments on Facebook, I gotta show you this picture. Because when it was Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, the Haitians were for Trump, because there's a whole thing when that hurricane happened, or the earthquake happened, and the world saw in Haiti, 2012, I believe, 2010, 2012. When that earthquake happened, millions of people were displaced, and hundreds of thousands of people died.
Yeah.
The world saw it, the world cared, and donated money. And the thing was that it was said that the Clintons stole it from the people showed up, charity showed up to help.
Yeah.
It was just like, well, where are the resources? How can we rebuild this? Because it was like charity money was stolen from them, and so they were for Trump. But I have a photo when people argue.
The Clinton Foundation
I send this to Republicans all the time. This is it's my little humor. But it just says Trump says he'd be their champ. And so it's just like, you see this, and you see how to me it's just like, don't trust everything you see and you hear, because you don't know, and you can easily switch up. That's a real photo. And then there's Haitian people women for Trump and things like that at the time, because he was at that time more so of in support. Using political exactly. So it's just, when it comes to the politics, they're gonna use whatever they can to fuel, to get the vote and to win. So, but it's unfortunate, but there's a blessing in everything that the small town became viral, because now we can seek out help on improving this community, and then not just for Haitians, but for locals too. We've been talking about getting a rec center for the youth, something that can offer tutoring classes, and personal development classes, things like this is not something that's in stone, but I've been pushing it, because if we can get some federal help, this is something that Springfield would be very grateful for. There's been a lot of crime in Springfield, from the youth especially, because there's nothing to do. There's truly nothing to do. So there was a woman from our church when we moved here that created something like this out of an old building. It was so beautiful. I was young, and then it got shut down when she left because someone saw the money in it, wanted to take over, and then it just got abandoned. But it's so cool how this works. So when you get there after school, right? You go, and then downstairs they have tutoring. There's people who are teachers who are willing to help after school with kids with their homework. You get your homework, you get tokens, almost like Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Here's these tokens for good job for finishing your homework. right? They had other classes if you want to learn language learning or whatever. But after that, there's like a gym, a gymnasium. You can play basketball, you do whatever. There was cooking classes. There was craft classes, like you could learn pottery or like knitting or things like that. There were different things, art. And then when your parents came to pick you up, there was a little gift shop. And with your tokens that you made for doing your homework, it's like Chuck E. Cheese, you can pick a gift. And it was the coolest thing, and it was just like, this is developing for the youth.
Yeah.
And I know I watched I was supposed to be there, but I was heading on a trip. I had another obligation. But there was a woman who came up to the podium for the council meeting saying, like, I know we're all big on this Haitian stuff, but let us not forget Springfield's concerns for the youth. There's something that we could do for the youth. And see, that things like that could be developed. Ooh, excuse me. It could be, what's my word? It could just be a positive thing for everyone. So those kind of things is like another thing that I'm looking into.
So is that center?
That center had shut down.
Shut down, yeah.
It shut down, but it's definitely possible to open it back up.
Yeah.
And it could give people jobs and things like that, even if it was an affordable membership. You know, something like that, to have your kid after school go there.
Yeah.
Get some help, tutoring, help to get schoolwork done, and then be rewarded for it. And then just learn how to develop whatever you're into, you know?
Yeah.
And to me, I think that could do a huge.
It's like the children of the Haitian immigrants
They can join and be a part of the community as well. There could be English classes and Haitian classes, like, you know.
Everybody needs help with their homework.
Everybody needs help with their homework, exactly. So and that could provide jobs because I know there, even at the high school, there are people there, adults there, that do have a passion for children and in the youth of Springfield, and give them another opportunity to just help the youth and keep them out of the streets, out of trouble. It gives them something to do, a sense of belonging, things like that, you know. So after school, you're not getting yourself into trouble. We had a whole mall that was shut down because people did nothing but steal from it. It's terrible. This is before any Haitians showed up. Our only little mall we had got shut down because what else was there to do? It's like, let's hang out at the mall. But then it's like, okay, might as well steal or whatever. And it's just like, things got shut down. So to me, it's just like, there's a blessing in disguise in chaos, you know?
Yeah.
Because now that we have attention, like I said.
Well, you sound very positive. I mean, I don't know if I was in your situation and having gone through everything that's happened in the last week, whether I would feel the same way.
Yeah, no, for sure. But the thing is, there's something about me that is sure of Haitian people. Because what Springfield people don't understand is their story. And Haitian people are resilient. So I've written a lot of stories for their asylum applications. And they're all different, but somewhat similar. There's a lot of people that after the earthquake or something like that, there was maybe violence or something that grew in their town, they decided to leave for themselves, for their family, for whatever. And then they heard that Chile, it was most common is Chile and Brazil were opening and allowing work for Haitians as refugees to come in. So they traveled before they came here, a lot of them from Springfield. There are some that came directly from Haiti here, but there are a lot of people that went to Brazil first or went to Chile first. You'll see Haitians here, they have a child with a Chilean or Brazilian passport because they went there first. And then they received, Brazil was okay, but the thing is someone is telling these people, come to America. You'll have the American dream. You'll get a job and you'll be making way more money than here in Brazil or Chile. Chile, I heard more stories of racism than Brazil. But Chile had old school racism, like you can't get on the bus, or if you did get on the bus, you got on here last. Or a pregnant woman showing up to the doctors first thing in the morning and they don't serve her till she's the very last person. They're about to close and they give them the bare minimum. I've heard a story of a man, he did construction, him and his buddies. When he saved up money, he built his own home. A man came with a gun and said, get out, it's mine now. You try to report it to the police. The police said, "Are you Chilean?" Then it's his. If he says it's his, then it's his. Then we had a story where many stories of they could be doing like the dirty jobs that nobody wanted, and they worked extra hard and extra long. And when it came time to get the checks, they got significantly less than locals, or like they got discrimination in their pay, or sometimes they didn't even get a paycheck. It would be times that they would work, and they would prolong it for a month or whatever, and then they'd be like, "Oh no, you're not getting paid." After they just worked tirelessly in Chile, like things like that was happening in Chile, not as much in Brazil. But then someone told them, "Hey, you come to America, everything will be great. You'll have security, you'll have job opportunity, you'll be able to start a family here. Everything will be peachy keen." And then I read the story of how they get to America. They walk. So if you see Chile on the map or Brazil on the map, imagining these people walking. That's why I just like to say, that's more of a trendy thing to say now. It's like they're built different. Because when Chile is here, Santiago, Chile, and they walk. They walk. And they walk to the U.S.-Mexico border. That is something I cannot imagine doing myself. And on that walk, you go with a bunch of people, and it wouldn't just be Haitians. It would be other people, Venezuelans or whomever, other people trying to escape Cuba, whatever may have you. Especially those coming from Haiti would take a flight to, the ones that would come from Haiti would take a flight to Nicaragua. They would take a flight to Nicaragua and walk through Honduras, Guatemala, and Mexico. They would walk that way to come to the border. Because they're allowing people in down at these borders. You can't just directly fly in. If you wanted to fly in, like to Florida, you'd have to get a visa. And right now it's just extremely difficult to get a visa because you got to get a visa in Port-au-Prince, the capital, and that's been taken over by gangs. So if you go there, you're risking your life. Like it's just, the office might not even be open because it's so messed up out there. So you just take the walk instead. And on that walk, especially, I think you talk about in Colombia, there's this mountain that you have to cross. That's like, I forget how high, probably like 16,000 plus feet that you have to climb. And they would say, so you can go 50 people at a time, and they have a rope. The rope is what takes them through this whole journey. And you got a stick and a rope, and you're climbing up. And if somebody falls, there was a man, he said he was going up, he had his child on his back, and he heard people screaming, and he glanced down, and there were probably like 10 people. One person let go, and everybody behind him fell to their death afterwards. Crossing the rivers, people die crossing the rivers because maybe somebody's short and can't swim. And if they're all holding onto this rope to cross, but if the currents are strong and they pull you, and you're gone. One of the worst things I hear is that if you break a leg or something on the way, they have to leave you there because you can't carry a grown man through this entire thing. Like, it's hard. It makes everything much harder. So they just have to sit there and hope something takes them out sooner than to just starve to death by just being there. And he said that's the worst, when you just hear people screaming, and that you didn't know him before, but that became your friend along the journey, but now you have to leave them behind. Only to come to this. And there's even more stories. There's a pregnant woman who, and she did the walk pregnant, and there were times that she had to eat dirt because there was nothing else to eat. It was just like, and this is like, and the thing is that a lot of them say, they don't tell them how difficult this walk is. They just say, oh yeah, you just go, whatever, like, it's not too bad, and when you get there, you're just gonna, but a lot of them say, if I would have known the walk was gonna be this dangerous and this scary and this, like, putting my children through this, that I would have never done it. I would have never done it. And even them being in Springfield now, like, I just did all that just to be met with racism again. Just to be met with people who want to get rid of us again. There was a man too, one of his stories really got me because he had his 2 children, and there was a man who lost his wife and his child through the current. It was ripped. But there was one who he had his child with him, and he saw his wife was kind of lagging behind. He hurried up and dropped his kid. He passed his kid off to somebody else, ran, grabbed his wife, pulled her to shore, and she was out. And people were telling him we have to leave her, and he did not give up. He cried. His kid was crying, like, what's going on? And he just kept giving her CPR, kept giving her CPR. And people were saying, well, we're going to leave you two here. And he said he don't care. He'd stay here with his wife, and he just kept going and kept going and kept going. And after probably like 30 minutes, she came back to life. And they were just so happy that, you know, okay, cool, like, we can still make it forward. Like, she choked up water or whatever, and they were okay. Yeah, so, and this is just because they were told a lie. When you come here, everything would be great. You know?
Yeah.
So and so
You
it's
have to
just
get here, and then you have to.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and they faced all kind of things. So that's passing through most of the jungles. You're also encountering snakes and wild beasts. Right? There's cougars and stuff out there. There's all kinds of stuff. When you go into the jungle, there's tropical, like, there's real life, you know,
Yeah.
dangers out
Yeah.
there. You're crossing those, and then when you get to Mexico, there's another issue with the coyotes, the gangs, people that will stop you, people who had their child taken, they get robbed of their things, like all kinds of things. There was a lady, like, they called her the crazy lady because she was just always rocking and always asking, can you help me find my son? Can you help me find my son? Because there was people that kidnapped her son on the way out, and that has to be the worst kind of terror for a parent. You'd almost rather them die, because how do you sleep at night not knowing what's happening to your child, you know? But yeah, it's crazy the things they go through. That's why it's just like sometimes when I see people here who never really had to suffer, like, it's hard for me now, being a 26-year-old, working the job that I do, and then encountering, like, it's hard for me to have friends now with Americans, because I'll sit there and oh, okay, yeah, everything's fine, and then someone will complain that they didn't get whipped cream on their frappe when they ask for whipped cream, and I'm just like, you don't know like what struggle is. Like, you're just complaining about nothing, like you have no idea. And so yeah, then once they get to the border, it's application. You apply for a CBP-1 application, which will allow you to be paroled into the United States. It's a CBP-1 application.
And then I guess because they're Haitians, they perhaps have a. I know there's special programs. I don't know the details, but they.
Yeah. I know there's been a direct thing that's like helping them. There's a lot of controversy with that because, like I said, like I've studied Haiti's history, and I know why they're technically like behind than other countries. But that's a whole nother thing as well. But right now, like I even have a video clip. So Haiti has, I think it was hit by a meteorite or something, but their land is rich. The land itself has gold, has iridium, has oil. And big guys like the United States and China and Russia, that's like, oh, yeah, like, you know how big business is. They see the numbers, not the people. And so they're just like, ooh, like, I think when that earthquake happened, it was like black was coming out of the ground. And they're like, we're cursed. Like, God is going to send us to hell because we've got all this black goo coming out, whatever. And then people are watching these videos like, wait, that's oil. Like, wait a minute. Like, ears perk up. Like, wait a minute. So I don't know. I can't point a finger as to who killed the president. But the government system broke. It crashed.
Yes.
And after that, Haiti doesn't manufacture weapons. They don't. So back in the day, a police officer might have had like a, what are those called? Those Russian roulette? Like just something small, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. But exactly, but now there is just all kinds of weapons being shipped from the United States. They're saying made in Massachusetts, Springfield, Massachusetts, made here, they're being shipped. I'm not sure who's doing it, if it's illegal or if it's, I mean, of course it's illegal. But I don't know if it's just regular people or if it's government. I can't point the finger
People
where.
making money.
But people making money, they're shipping weapons. They just keep. So I try to explain it to an American, like, imagine if the United States was in a purge kind of state where like crime was legal, and then they dropped off guns to the hood into the redneck counties where people kind of don't have anything to lose, like they're just like they don't care. How do you feel? Like, don't you want to find a country that would be welcoming you to get you out? Like, I love my home, I love America, but it's not safe to be here. Like, wouldn't you want someone, a neighbor, wouldn't you want Canada to let you in temporarily until hopefully America would get itself figured out? That's all it is.
Yeah.
Because all the Haitians will tell you, if our home was safe, we'd be back in a heartbeat. They're used to turquoise waters. You could be poor and catch a fish in a wild plantain. Like, there's wild fruits and vegetables just growing everywhere, and it's natural.
Did you go back before, like, the current situation?
I had a flight. My first time, I had a flight in March of 2020. And so obviously my flight got canceled. And I was so excited for it because we were going to go do some, like, charity work to help with, like, the orphanages and stuff. I had ordered a bunch of toys, like inflatable stuff. I had like 2 outfits. I'm like, I can just rewash it. I just get a bunch of underwear and then just fill it with toys. So, like, just to connect with the kids. But so I missed my opportunity, but I still have hope to be able to go back to Haiti, or to be able to go to Haiti. I just hope that it's safe again.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much what is like going on. Like, Haitian people, especially people who came from Haiti recently and went to Nicaragua and went through, their story is interesting too, because right now it's just like someone tried to kill me. There was a young guy, like, they were cornering me and they were trying to recruit me to join a gang, and I'm Christian and I'm just not, like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And so they try to escape, and that doesn't mean that Haiti itself is terrible. Because we see America, and we see America as great, but there's a lot of terrible people in the mix.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of terrible crime in the mix. Everyone has that joke, like, you can look up Florida man and your birthday, and you'll find something crazy, right? So that's just like any other country will have a mix of terrible people, but the terrible people had the opportunity to take over.
Yeah.
And so it's sad because there's professors, and there's scientists, and there's lawyers that are now all living, say you're living with an uneducated farmer and you have to go work in the factory now in Springfield with them, and people are spitting at you like you're less than life from locals, and you had much respect in your hometown because you studied things like you knew, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a woman too, she was a lawyer and she was escorted and she had like a gated home and all this and that, and now she's crammed in a house with a bunch of other people. Like, it's just the system, like, it's all kind of messed up for her life, but she's just like, I gotta keep moving, I have kids, what can I do, you know? Like, there was a time too, like, some of the people get to interact and find, like, Haitian people can be very humble, very grateful for the opportunities they have, like, even with, like, it's just a small amount of things that I'm telling you about their journey, they'll still be so grateful for, like, okay, as long as they have a place to sleep, okay, great. As long as my kids are safe, I'm grateful to God. Like, they give God thanks regardless of what they've been through. So as much as it's like, I'm terrified, like, oh yeah, I'm scared for the safety of the Haitian people, at the same time I'm like, you don't know Haitians. They've gone through tough things. You might have sat at your couch and watched your TV. And today you're mad, you want to do something. But these people were built to survive. Like, you don't know who you're messing. Like, these people, they're strong people. They don't want to get into any kind of fights with anybody. But if they have to defend themselves, they're strong people. I don't have a doubt that these people aren't.
It doesn't sound like they'll be sort of chased out of Springfield when that many people are.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's the thing, is that I don't know what they'll decide because they chose to leave Chile because of racism. Right. So they can simply choose to want to leave again, you know? So I don't know what their decisions will be, but I would be very sad if they leave, because with the people that I have met, just like, I feel like they're family to me. They have my heart. Like, you just encounter so many situations where, like, just such a sweet person, and then you hear these things, and it's just like, you have no idea what you're talking about, because this is all far from the truth. This is far from the truth. There was an old man that came to us. He doesn't know where to start, what to do, because some young Springfield people jumped him. They beat him up. They beat him bad, and then just stole his backpack. His backpack had all his documents, his passport, his work card, his Mind you, if you lose your work card, they don't give you a new one. You have to buy a new one. You have to reapply, and you have to
Right.
pay for a new one.
Right.
And he had his cash because some don't have bank accounts, so when they work, they just cash it out and like stash it and hide it or whatever.
Yeah.
So they just stole everything he had. And he just like, I don't know how to start with nothing. Like, we were just trying to help him however we could, but see if we could pull up maybe a photo of his
Yeah.
passport somewhere, or if we,
Start somewhere.
yeah, to start to get some information. But
Stuff.
yeah. But yeah, I'm always glad to be able to share some
So
insight.
you're helping, you're interpreting services, but really you're doing.
Everything. Like we just know we're the bridge. My mom and I are the bridge because we know Springfield and we know Haitians, and so if we need to inform the Springfield people and if the Haitians need help, we know how the American system, how the Springfield system works. We're here to help you, and we don't want to take advantage of you. That's not
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we help literally with any and everything. And like we said, if there's something that we can't do, we're going to try to direct you to someone that we have confidence in to help you, kind of thing. Yeah. It's been a wild ride, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the Haitians have sparked a fire in my heart because it's just like, these are just great people, and the story that's going around in America is wrong. It's completely wrong. This is some of the strongest people you'll ever meet because they've dealt with this throughout history. Throughout history, they're the first black people to free themselves, and that raised like, because United States still had slaves then. So then that means if the word gets out, they're going to have faith that they can free themselves as well. We can't have that.
Yeah.
Or there's other neighboring countries in, the island country, the Caribbeans, where Christopher Columbus was selling everywhere.
Yeah.
Like he was just going back and forth. The Spanish, you want these guys. The French, you want these guys. The thing with the French was the French are just like, the French, they're happy and rich. So they just keep buying more, keep buying more, keep buying more, keep buying more slaves. Now all of a sudden there's more Africans than there are French. And then that's where they say like voodooism. I personally am not voodooist, but I look at everything from the outside. As if, what if I then to be super judgmental, and I learned in my studies is that voodooism, they took their ancestors to help them. Through spiritual things, they called on their ancestors to help them free themselves.
Yeah.
And because they freed themselves, they were able to go over to other countries and help free them. They went and helped free Venezuela. They sent goods and stuff like that to other countries. And the French was just like, well, you're going to be in debt to us forever. They gave them a big fat bill, like, if you want to be considered a nation and you don't want us to come mess with you again, then you have to pay this back. So taxes, instead of going into their city, was going into paying off the debt for decades, for centuries, I should say. For centuries, they've just been paying the French off just to free themselves. So that's why when they look at, why is Dominican Republic more established than Haiti? The taxes is not going towards, one, the taxes is not going towards the country, and two, Haiti built the Dominican Republic. They hired Haitians to come build the cities and towns, and this is coming from Dominican people I talked to, older women. My sister is married to a Dominican, and I talked to her mother-in-law's older friends, right? And they lived on the border of Dominican Republic and Haiti. So I had questions for them, and they were saying how Haitians built the Dominican Republic. They're hard-working people.
Yeah.
But they just seem to just keep on getting this stigma, this bad luck, but they are resilient. They don't quit. They don't give up. That's what it's just like. When we hear some of these stories, like I've learned to build thick skin from working with them, but sometimes they will have my sister-in-law come help. Or my sister, who lives in Florida, she'll come and sit with us for the day, and they'll leave crying from hearing their stories. Like, how could you guys just not cry about this? And we're like, because we got used to it. But it's just like, their story, and they're still so grateful. They're still so positive. They're still so, even though they've been through the trenches just to get some sort of hope that they can live a normal life. They just want to live a normal life. And the thing is, it's like, Springfield is not ideal. Springfield, they're kind of miserable. It's like we just work. Even in Brazil, we would have places to go dancing, or we'd have, like a culture where it was fun, or this and that, or there's water in mountains still,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
In Springfield, it's just like factory dead people who are like, no offense, they're like not healthy, I should say, a bit overweight, missing teeth, like, and they're looking at them like you looking at me like I'm low life, but you're not even taking care of yourself. You know, that's how they see it. Where it's just like, what? You know, people like back off. This is my space, and you're like, if I had a choice, I would be back in my space. Like my space, and I even did, like I said, I do a lot of research. I looked, not only did I look into history, but in the current things where before a lot of this, travelers and bloggers, like on YouTube, when they traveled to Haiti, what was their experience? What did they think? And even people on a cruise. There was a lady, she went on this cruise that went to Jamaica, Bahamas, Haiti, and she's just like, I am sorry. Like, she cried when they reached to Haiti. She's like, this is the most beautiful island I've ever seen. Then I seen another video. This place is so beautiful. Like, they're just like, I just can't explain it. The mountains and the turquoise water and the land is just a beautiful land. It just stands out over other Caribbean islands. They just like, I don't know what it is about Haiti. It's just so beautiful. Yeah. So when I hear people fighting for Springfield, it's just like, Haitians would love to go back home where you don't feel like you're black. Yeah. You just feel like a normal person. You're not being discriminated off your color. It breaks my heart because I see a lot of women, even men now too, that are bleaching their skin. It's not a good, like, it's not a healthy process, and it's not a pain-free process where you're bleaching your skin to be lighter. I'm just like, no, like, it's not a problem. You are you. Like, melanin is just, like, you had no choice. You were born into that. Like, but they're bleaching just so they could feel like they would be maybe accepted more or treated less than. But when you're in Haiti, you don't feel like that's a problem. Like, everyone around you is the same color. It's not, like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, they would love, that's the biggest thing Haitians say. If I was free, if Haiti was fine, if there was no problem in Haiti, we were like, you don't even have to deport us. We will buy that one-way ticket back home. We will go home. Like, that's why I say, like, we're talking even down to the food. Like, their food is, that's the thing they say, like, Dominican Republic is more established, but they're buying food from Haiti. Why? Because the food is just nutrient-rich, real food. Like, this is real organic, real non-GMO, because it's just naturally grown. People are like, oh yeah, in my old house, I grew a mango tree there, I had a lime tree there, like, I was growing this. Like, you could just grow whatever, and you could go to the market and sell it, no big deal. Like, you make what you make. Yeah. And it was just like, you're living in paradise. Like, even if you're poor, you're living in paradise. So it's just like, the biggest thing I feel like for Haitians, I don't know, that's my personal, like, we don't know what the solution is, but the biggest solution in our minds is like, hey, United States, you could solve this in 1 month by going to Haiti and getting rid of these guns, shutting the gangs down. Yeah. Everybody, there wouldn't be a Haitian immigrant issue. There would, of course, would be Haitians that stay. Some Haitians, like my aunt, she's been here since, you know, she was young. She, like, even, no, I take that back because she would go back as well. She has a house, and she used to go every year. When she lived in Brooklyn, like, she's in Brooklyn now, but she'd go back multiple times a year. And she loved to go to Haiti. Even my grandma, before she passed, she wanted to die in Haiti. Like, everyone, even my grandpa, before he passed, he built a house, a big house in the mountains. They put all the furniture out there, and then he had a stroke. But he wanted to die in Haiti. He wanted to, like, spend his last days in Haiti because it's beautiful there. Yeah. It's truly a beautiful country with resilient people. Yeah. With truly resilient people. But now it's just like, they're just stuck in this situation. That's what they were saying. In literally a month, America has the power to just go over there. Yeah. Do a clean it out. Some people would say that. And they would just all go back voluntarily. The U.S. government getting involved doesn't always end well. Exactly, because what does that mean? That means giving up resources. Iridium. I was going to say gold and oil is there, but iridium is there. They said iridium, 1 ounce is worth $4,500. 1 ounce. And there's mountains filled with iridium. And iridium can help with space. It can help with all kinds of stuff. Like electricity even, like, it's just a powerful mineral, And it's just like, well, why would we give? The Haitian people are not even touching it. They're just leaving it be. It's nature. They're just letting. They have respect for nature, you know. And America's just like, well, why would we give up on that money?
Yeah.
Why would we do that? And instead, that's what I see as more of a government fault as to why we're all in this, why everybody's suffering one way or the other. It's because they're putting their fingers in something that they can make money with.
Yeah.
Even China's going and buying up land in there. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so dangerous, but why are all these flights? But that's what they're saying. Like, how is it so dangerous to go to Haiti, but these flights are filled with white people or Asian people? Like, they're all headed to Haiti. It's like, that's suspicious.
Yeah, it's an opportunity.
Because it's a money opportunity, and people have to suffer for it. But people, that's how history goes, right? People suffer for government decisions.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, individuals, communities, they like to be considered nice people, decent people. We all love and want to be loved, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I hope things die down here.
Yeah.
Although, yeah.
We don't know.
Even City Hall was, didn't think that they were going to. And then if Trump comes, I suppose there's going to be a whole lot of stuff around there too, right?
Exactly. So that's another battle to face, because that'll only excite Trump supporters more.
Yeah.
Right? That'll only drive them up even more. Even the man Nate Higgers, who is a head of I don't know, this Nazi stuff going on, and he made a threat. I don't know if you saw that video.
I saw some videos. Like I saw like Proud Boys and whatnot.
Well, he had made a promise to the Haitians that you bring in here, where like more dangers are coming to the town. And that's where the people are just kind of nervous, where it's just like, we don't have anything to do with this. And then it's just like, and then there's people from all over the country that want to involve themselves in being patriotic and helping getting rid of people. You know? And it's just like, I didn't think that's what this country was. I thought we are a blend.
So, I mean, are there groups? I know the Proud Boys said some sort of rally. Have you seen yourself like groups of these neo-Nazi or far-right people come in?
So me personally, I haven't seen them, but I have seen posts. So like, see, this is right outside. So that's Nate Higgers, and then this is, and that's very real.
Jeez.
So I haven't been around for everything, like I said, like other than
Was that just this week?
Come back. Possibly. I can look up this name, Shauna. Let me look it up on Facebook, because I think that there was a video link that was attached to that. Bogus. I don't know if it'll come up. The signal's not great in here. But yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Oh, I'm so glad I ran into you just randomly because I was just walking through here.
I hope that gave you more
That looks
understanding.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's really great.
of
I
what's
don't.
going on.
It's so, and I understand people. You know, not everybody will want to talk, so it's great to hear somebody like you giving sort of voice.
I
to the
personally
community.
feel like it's my duty. Like, I know people are afraid, and I know that because, like, I grew up. I was a little overweight. I had bad acne. We grew up in a very strict Christian church, so I had to wear long sleeves and long dresses. Like, I wasn't allowed to wear pants or jewelry or makeup, none of that. Like, he was very, very strict. So I didn't really have many friends.
Has your mom gotten less strict over the years?
I didn't. Oh yeah, she got rid of. Once she found out one pastor was sleeping with a choir member when he was married, it was just like, oh, this is all crooked. But so I didn't really have friends growing up as a kid. I got bullied a lot as a kid. So then as I grew older, I became what society considered was more attractive, and people like sort of gravitated like, oh, and so I'm grateful for my childhood because I still know how people work, and I don't like, it doesn't just get to me, like if I get attention, it doesn't like go straight to my head. I think, oh, I have a privilege because now people consider me pretty or whatever. I can speak for somebody and people will listen. Like now I can be amused to help other people and they'll listen simply because it's just like, oh, well, that's a good looking person. Maybe she knows something. I don't know how it works. But it's just like, I'm grateful for this because now it's just like, I don't care. Use my face. Let me tell you the truth. Like, let me tell you what's really going on. Let me speak. I feel that it's my duty because I have the privilege, because my grandma migrated here and she fought, like, she did everything to get her family here. It's my duty to repay my ancestors back, you know, for the fight that they fought to give me the privileges I have today to be an American and to do whatever, you know, that I want to do. Like just to have the freedoms that I have, or to say that I would glow up, like it's my duty to show up for these people, for the people who don't have a voice for themselves, you know? But I think this is a video.
And it's better than to have to put up with. Good evening to the people of Springfield. You don't know who I am. My name is Nathaniel Higgers of Blood Tribe. I was at the head of
Blood
the
Tribe?
anti-Haitian
Blood
immigration
Tribe.
march.
Yeah, so there's an anti-Haitian immigration march they have.
I'm sure the Honorable Mr. Rob Rue recognizes me, considering he supposedly knew of our action before we even arrived. First of all, I would like to dispel the myth that you knew of our march and intentionally had no reaction or made no forewarning about it as a preventative measure. You had no more idea than the police officers or Haitians. And it's frankly insulting to our organization to make such a claim. Second, I've come to bring a word of warning. Stop what you're doing before it's too late. Crime and savagery will only increase with every Haitian you bring in. And with it, public frustration and anger.
You sound threatening to me. I'm gonna,
Based on the comments
I could ask
tonight,
the police to go ahead.
I'm sure I don't need to tell you
You
this.
just sound threatening if you go ahead and just peacefully be removed.
These people didn't ask for this. And they deserve better than to have to put up with violence.
He said crime and savagery will increase with every Haitian. I've never seen that man before.
Yeah,
I don't
so
know
it's
where he
probably not
lives.
come to that.
Someone from out of town. I wouldn't be
Nathan-
surprised. Nathan Higgers.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like they're getting threats. Like
Yeah.
crime and
people-
savagery will
yeah,
increase with
and
each
people
Haitian.
coming in from outside. I mean, that's just
It's
frightening.
tough.
Um,
It's tough.
I guess I'll go to the schools at some point because I see that now they have police outside the schools because they want to keep the schools open.
Mm-hmm.
But they're getting these bomb threats, so they're just posting the highway patrol outside of all the elementary schools, which, you know, I suppose it's good that they keep them open, but
It's tough.
I think it's,
Because
it's-
especially for parents.
yeah.
Like you're thinking like you don't know what might, because there's a lot of people from out of town, out of state coming in here. You don't know what
You
kind
don't
of
know
action people are
exactly.
taking, and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
straight up said like he's with the bloodline. He's the head of that photo where they're saying crime and savagery will increase with each Haitian. Mind you, like I said, they're saying each Haitian. Some guy was complaining, I've never seen so many white vans. I think I told you that
Yeah.
earlier. Where he's just like, I've never seen so many white vans bringing and dropping people off every day. And I'm just like, it's the same people. They just are getting transported to and from work,
Yeah.
right? And so he's saying, like, danger will increase with each Haitian brought in here. So they can see that as, oh, these are new, when they're really not. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, well, we got to take it up a notch. And it's just tough.
Yeah.
It's just like they feel the need to take matter into their own hands. And now it's just like, I'm grateful to have the opportunity to speak to you or to someone of the Haitian story, so you get more insight as you hear other people who maybe not be as sure of who they are,
Yeah.
I've done more than enough
No,
research.
it's-
I've done like history research. I've done with people going to the country, and then I've written story. And my computer, I have story after story after story after story of Haitian people. Because they have to, when you come in through a CBP-1 application, you're given a court date, and you have to present them an asylum application.
Okay.
With that asylum application, you need a written story as to why you're
So
here,
that-
what
yeah,
happened,
so you're
and why
helping
you
those
fear
people.
returning. So yeah,
And
they
they
come
make
to
their
us
way
for a
here.
story.
Yeah, and then you help them with that. Yeah.
And so we make it like super affordable. We got to keep the lights on, so we do charge, but we make sure that we are affordable and we're not taking advantage of these people.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, we don't have a website, we don't have advertisement, we just have integrity, and
Yeah.
that keeps our place packed.
That's
Like
what people
it
love.
keeps business as well. Yeah, and it's just like the Haitian community is so tight. So when one word gets out one space that hey, you
Yeah.
could trust these people, then it
Yeah,
just
yeah.
goes everywhere. It goes everywhere. There was a man that said that he came to us. And I think he was like short $20, and we're like, it's okay, don't worry about it. Like it's not a big of a deal. He said, no, I have to pay you guys. He's like, I have to have good credit with you guys. He said, because I was at work and I was asking everyone who could help me, and they told me to come to you guys. He said, and then I went home and I was asking buddy who could help me, and they said to come to you guys. He's like, so I just make sure I have good credit. We're like, no, we promise you it's really not like $20. We promise you it's not that big of a deal. He's like, no, because I want you guys to like serve me. And we're like, we'll always serve you. Like it's okay. So that's our biggest thing is integrity and to just help and to just hear them out from human to human. As in, what if I was in this situation? Like, what if my grandmother and my grandfather never left Haiti? Like, how would that have changed for my mom? How would that change history for everything? You know, for like my life or whatever, the life of my mom or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that they came here, that I'm in this position. But who's to say by the luck of the draw that I have the life that I have? It's my, like I said, it's my duty to help them because I know their story. I know what they're going through. I know what they've been through. And like, I don't know. It's just,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm just happy to be able to dump all that information on you,
No,
so you can
thanks,
take
thank you, yeah.
take that into perspective when you hear stories of the locals.
Yeah. Which I think I'm gonna go to there's a restaurant down the road.
Roses.
Rose Goose restaurant. Yeah. Somebody suggested that to me as a good idea.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much English. Rose doesn't know too much English, so maybe there's some sort of translating you guys could have. I'm trying to think of the other people that work there. If there's somebody that can translate for you there, it would be good.
Yeah.
Because she has a nice little story too. Rose used to own a hotel. She had a hotel and a restaurant within the hotel. And she was doing really well in Haiti. When she came here, she started from scratch because she didn't want to. And it was my mom who was telling her, this is the land of opportunity. If you want to open a business, you can open a business. And she just, I don't know where to start. I don't know how the rules work here. So my mom was showing her different licenses and stuff she needed to operate and like have food and like go here and apply for that. And you can just get this stuff started up. That way you're good to go like legally in the United States to operate. And so she was able to start something up because she didn't want to work in a factory, so she's used to running a restaurant, hotel, like it's just different. It's a lot of people that just completely humble. Like you imagine being a professor for 2 decades and now you're just in a house with whomever and you just work in a factory with whomever.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Yeah.
It's very humbling.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
and then now you've got people just yelling at you, telling you
People
don't
just-
belong here.
yeah.
You got to get out. Illegal.
Yeah.
It's like no, they told us to come here. Like
Yeah, right.
they gave me papers. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. In these years that I've worked here, I've never come across somebody who didn't have legal documents. An I-94
Yeah.
with an alien number that processed the date they came in.
Yeah.
And a CBP-1 officer
Never.
signature.
I mean, you never.
No, there's people.
I'm guessing
who,
I'm guessing there must be. I mean, to be completely fair about it, I'm guessing there must be some people who don't have quite the right paperwork yet.
I personally, this is my experience.